Welcome to Book to Blueprint, where powerful books become practical blueprints for real life. You do not need more information, you need execution. This is Book to Blueprint. So, what if you could completely change your most stressful moments with a practice that takes just 90 seconds? Today, we're not just going to talk about Jillian Pransky's The Power of the Pause. Oh no, we are building a practical, hands on blueprint to turn her core ideas into real, repeatable actions. This is your guide to execution, not just theory. All right, here's our game plan. First, we're going to define our destination, that calm, connected state. Then we'll look at the vehicle that gets us there, the big idea of pausing. We'll learn the rules of the road with the operating system, and then we'll get really practical with the LAR implementation plan. Finally, we'll cover the daily habits you need and the common mistakes to avoid. Let's dive in. Okay, first things first, let's get super clear on our goal. What is the exact result we're working towards? Because this isn't about some fleeting temporary feeling. It's about building a whole new default state for yourself. I want you to think about the last time you had a really difficult conversation or just a super stressful moment. The goal here isn't to make those moments disappear. That's just life, right? The real goal is to fundamentally change how you experience them. It's about building this inner anchor so you can stay calm and centered no matter what kind of storm is raging around you. So, what's the core concept that makes all this possible? Well, it's all built around one deceptively simple action: the pause. This quote from Viktor Frankl, it's really the heart of this entire practice. You see that space he talks about between what happens to you and how you respond? That's everything. That is your power. A pause isn't about escaping a situation, it's about intentionally creating just enough room in that space to choose your response, instead of just letting those knee-jerk reactions take over. Now, to make that space useful, we need some ground rules. Think of these as the new operating system for your nervous system. These are the core principles that make the whole blueprint actually work. So let's break this down. First, a pause is an intentional, conscious break. You're actively deciding to get off that reactive hamster wheel. It is, by far, the fastest way you have to self-regulate. And this is so important. It's not about freezing up or checking out. It's actually about grounding yourself so you can check in. And this isn't just some mental trick. It physically creates the conditions in your brain to reset your stress response. And that is what gives you the power to respond with purpose instead of just reacting on autopilot. All right, so we've got the what and the why. Now it's time for the how. This is the real centerpiece of our blueprint, a step-by-step action plan that you can use anywhere, anytime. Look, a plan is useless if it isn't crystal clear, right? This method is designed to be incredibly straightforward. It gives you a direct answer to what do I do and when do I do it, so you can start building this habit immediately. And here it is, the LAR method. It's best to think of this as a two-part process. The first LAR, that's land, arrive, relax, is like hitting the reset button on your nervous system. That's what creates the calm. The second LAR, listen, attend, respond. That's how you use that newfound calm to figure out your next move with real intention. And let me be really, really clear about this. Those first three steps, they are the whole game. This first LAR is the foundational practice. It's the thing that actually interrupts that fight or flight cycle and creates the physical conditions for a real pause. If you can master this, you've mastered the heart of this entire book. Okay, step one, land. This is all physical. Wherever you are right now, just feel your feet on the floor. Take one single breath, and your only goal is to feel the ground supporting you. That's it. It's that simple. Step two, arrive. You don't know your mind is always racing all over the place? Well, your breath is only ever happening right now, in this moment. So for your next breath, just follow it. Feel it come under your body. As your breath arrives, you just let your mind arrive right along with it. You're literally syncing your brain to the present moment. And step three, relax. Now notice the two most important words here, on purpose. This is not some passive wish hoping you'll relax. It's a conscious decision. You take one more breath, and as you breathe out, you intentionally let go of that tension you're holding in your jaw or your shoulders or your stomach. You are choosing to release it. So you have the what, but the when is just as critical. The secret to making this an automatic skill is to literally bolt it onto routines you already have. It's a technique called habit stacking, and it is incredibly effective. You know, the beautiful thing about this practice is that it fits into the little cracks of your day. You don't need to block off extra time. Just take those 90 seconds to do the first LAR before you eat, while you're brushing your teeth, or when you're just standing in line at the grocery store. Every single one of these little moments is an opportunity to build the muscle memory you're going to need when things get really tough. Okay, so now let's talk about how we turn this action into an identity. These are the reoccurring behaviors that transform the LAR method from something you do into a part of who you are. Think of this checklist as your daily training. It's not just about doing the LAR practice, it's about setting yourself up for success with reminders. It's about developing this new awareness, this ability to notice tension, to meet it, and then consciously let it go. And pay close attention to that fourth point: practice re-relaxing. The author makes this brilliant point. She's not a naturally relaxed person, she's an expert at re-relaxing. See, relaxation isn't some permanent state you finally achieve. It's a choice you have to make again and again. And finally, let's do some troubleshooting. To make sure this blueprint really works for you, we need to know what the common pitfalls are so we can steer clear of them right from the start. This is probably the biggest mistake people make. They think pausing is about zoning out or disengaging from a tough situation, but it's the exact opposite. The blueprint way is to use the pause to consciously check in. You're grounding yourself so you can get a clear, calm picture of what's really going on both inside you and around you. Have you ever told someone who's stressed out to just relax? Yeah, it never works, does it? That's because you can't force an outcome. The mistake is trying to command your body to relax, but the blueprint is smarter than that. It focuses on the process. When you follow the steps, land, arrive, relax, you aren't forcing a thing. You are simply creating the physical conditions that allow your nervous system to relax all by itself. And that brings us to maybe the most powerful idea in this whole thing. You don't need a new day, a new year, or some perfect moment to start this. You can begin again, in any moment. So as we wrap up this blueprint, the only real question left is the one you see right here. When are you going to take your next 90-second pause? If you have a book in mind that should be added to our list, comment below. If this blueprint helped you, subscribe, like, and build with us. More blueprints are coming. Stay intentional, stay consistent. We are doing this one book at a time. And remember, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So share this with them and grow together. Real progress becomes stronger when it is shared. Build your life one blueprint at a time. You do not attract what you want, you attract what you do.